So Minneapolis has homes starting around $300,000, and there's others that are listed at $50 million, believe it or not. Yes, you heard it right. Record-breaking price tags are happening right now. Most people only see one end of the spectrum, however. Today, you're gonna see it all. We're breaking down every price tier in the Twin Cities so you can figure out what exactly fits your particular budget. So tier 1, between $200,000 and $350,000. Most buyers ask the same questions. What can you actually get for that price? The answer is more than really you expected. We're looking at Richfield, Northfield, and Bloomington. So in Richfield sits directly south of Minneapolis. You get proximity without city pricing. Homes typically land in the mid $300,000 range. You're close to downtown, real neighborhoods with walkability, bike lanes. Wood Lake Nature Center is right there. It's one of my favorites. It's a great place to walk around. It's right next to 35, so easy access really from anywhere in Richfield. It's about 150 acres and it's a lot of woods, and believe it or not, there's a lake there too. Thus the name, Wood Lake, right? There's boardwalk trails, wildlife, winter snowshoeing. Veterans Park adds a lake, an ice rink, and mini golf. But here's something most buyers miss. Prices have stayed relatively flat while other suburbs have pushed higher. And that's really where the opportunity is right here in Richfield. The trade-offs, you have smaller lots, and it really has a city suburb feel. If you want strong value close to Minneapolis, Richfield is frankly hard to beat. I personally own a couple properties there, and I have held both those properties since like 2008, 2009. So I wouldn't hold a property that long if I didn't think it was a good investment personally. So then we got Northfield. Northfield is a completely different feel. It's about 40 miles south of Minneapolis. It's located along the Cannon River. It's got this real small town energy, walkable vibe, coffee shops, breweries, local restaurants, and homes. They're fairly affordable. They sit in the mid to high 300,000s. You get more space, more time to decide, and quite frankly, less competition, which is nice. So it's always great to have a little bit less competition. Don't get me wrong, the great homes still sell fast like anywhere else in the Twin Cities. However, there's a little bit of more affordability down in Northfield, and it's really got a sweet vibe because there's 2 different colleges down there. So you get more space, more time to decide, less competition. You have St. Olaf College and you have Carleton College, both very highly regarded liberal arts schools. You know, the trade-off is frankly the commute. Driving to Minneapolis or St. Paul adds up. So if you work remotely or want a slower pace, well, Northfield fits pretty well. Now let's talk Bloomington. Bloomington has about 88,000 people. It's roughly 10 miles south of downtown Minneapolis. Major highways are really in every direction. It's what we would call the epicenter of commutability, if that's a word. The Mall of America is right here. There's more than 500 stores in the mall alone. There's 50 plus restaurants in the mall. You have Nickelodeon Universe, Sea Life Aquarium, and the soon-to-be water park at the Mall of America. Homes here sit in the mid to high 300,000s. Don't get me wrong, they can be more expensive than that, just like every other community we just mentioned, but that's going to be kind of your middle range, if you will. So the market moves quickly. So you got to be ready if you see something. You have to act pretty fast. You get established neighborhoods, strong access, retail, and a lot of green space. The Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge runs along the Minnesota River right at the south part of Bloomington. So you have miles and miles of trails. If you want access and convenience, Bloomington pretty much delivers. So tier 2, let's go from 350 to 500,000. So this is the busiest price range in the entire Twin Cities. So Maple Grove is at the northwest side of the Twin Cities. It's one of the most in-demand suburbs that we have. Homes range from the mid 400s on up. The city is rapidly expanding its community center. It's got a new ice sheet, pools, fitness space, and there's a new Lifetime Fitness also coming. You have Elm Creek Park Reserve, which is one of the largest parks in the entire metro. It's got trails, swimming, and sledding in the winter. You get strong amenities and a solid retail scene. The trade-off is you're really car dependent, quite frankly. So Savage is going to be South Central Metro. So it sits about 15 miles southwest of Minneapolis. The population is around 33,000. The community feel is strong. Savage Community Park includes pickleball, fishing, and sports fields. You also have Murphy-Hinterhand Regional Park, and that adds mountain biking and skiing, along with some great hiking trails and even some great horseback riding trails. Homes sit in the low 400,000s, and you get more space and a more suburban feel. The trade-off is distance and a little bit more driving, but for the value, it's definitely strong. So a quick note, if you're trying to figure out which of these areas fits your budget, we help buyers with this every single day. So contact us in the description down below. But let's keep going. So tier 3 is going to be that 500 to 750,000. And now we're going to be moving into Woodbury, Lakeville, and Chanhassen. So Woodbury sits on the east side of the metro, about 20 miles from Minneapolis. Population is around 83,000. Homes start in the low 400s and definitely go on up from there. Single family homes reach the mid 500s fairly quickly. We have Central Park, just saw a $41 million renovation with a new amphitheater, indoor playground, and community spaces. Woodbury has about 3,500 acres of parkland, which is awesome. Additionally, there's 8 lakes with public access. The trade-off is a commute decision, really. You definitely have more commute there than you would at some of the first ring suburbs, but it's real easy and accessible via 94. So heading west from Woodbury can take some time. Let's go southwest from there though to Lakeville. Lakeville has 81,000 people and it's my hometown. It's about 25 miles south of Minneapolis. Homes sit in the high 400s to low 500s and they definitely go up from there. You get over 100 parks, about 140 miles of trails. Lake Marion, the largest lake in Lakeville, offers beaches and recreation. Homes are staying on the market a bit longer. That gives buyers more options and a little bit less competition, but I want to stress a little bit less, not a lot. Those great homes still are moving fast. Chanhassen was named the #1 best place to live by Money Magazine in 2021. It's about 30 minutes from downtown. It has 12 lakes and 66 plus miles of trails. We have Paisley Park is right there, which is Prince's studio and museum. And it has a new community center that's in the planning stages currently. So homes sit in the high 500s and go up from there. Up and away, in fact. You can definitely touch the $1 million price point quite easy. The market is still moving pretty fast, so be ready if you're looking here in Chanhassen. So let's go to tier 4, $750 to $1 million. And now we're talking about Edina and Medina. So Edina is one of the most well-known suburbs in the entire Twin Cities. It's about 10 miles from Minneapolis. The 50th in France is really the heartbeat of Edina at its core. There's 175 shops and restaurants. It's super walkable, active. Homes average in the high 700s and some areas are a little bit lower. There's definitely quite a few areas though that go well above $1 million and into the multiple millions of dollars. So transit is improved with the Metro E-Line, and that has made getting to and from downtown, especially if you don't want to be car dependent, much easier. Then let's go further west to Medina. Medina is about 18 miles to the west of downtown Minneapolis. It is more rural for sure. Larger lots, open land. Home values are really starting in the low 800s because you have these really palatial estates. There's a lot of large acreage homes in Medina. Some are a little bit lower, but don't expect to be buying a home in Medina for $500,000. Some of these homes are well into the millions and multiple millions. So you're close to Maple Grove and Plymouth, which both have great shopping areas. You get space without isolation, just a little bit of a drive. So you got to be prepared for that. There's no green line or rail that's coming there for the transit system. So ultimately you are fairly car dependent. Tier 5, let's talk about $1 million all the way up to $5 million. Now we're getting into to the higher end markets. And we could say that Medina and Edina can definitely fit into these price points also, but we're going to talk specifically about Bade Makassar, and this is the largest lake in Minneapolis. The name was restored in 2018. Before that, it was known as Lake Calhoun. The area is very active and social. There's running, sailing, paddleboarding, and uptown is right to the east. So listings range from condos to $1 million+ lakefront homes. There's actually no direct lake access with any of these homes, just for clarity, but they do sit right across from the lake. There's a walking trail and a road that sits between all the homes and the lake. Then we're going to move on to Orono. Orono sits along Lake Minnetonka. The population is around 8,200. It's known for its privacy and land. Homes average in the low $1 million range, and there's a wide range depending on the property. So there's low inventory and strong demand. Then there's Lake of the Isles. This sits inside Minneapolis. There's historic homes, lake views, and connected trails. Median price is in the low $1 million range, and listings range from $400,000 for condos all the way up to $8 million for some of the largest estates. Tier number 6 is going to be the $5 million plus range. Now we're in a different level, and that leads us to the fabled Lake Minnetonka, which leads the state in pricing by far. Wayzata. Wayzata sits on the northeast shore of Lake Minnetonka. It's about 11 miles from Minneapolis. It has an extremely walkable downtown that makes you feel like you're probably in the Hamptons or places like Nantucket. It really has that feel to it. There's lakefront dining, events, and it has over 14,000 acres and miles and miles and miles of shoreline, islands, and it is a recreation lover's paradise. If you like water, you would love the Wayzata area of Lake Minnetonka with boating, sailing, and fishing. Now, here's the number. Lake Point Estate. 8 acres, 650 feet of lakeshore, and it's listed at $50 million. The most expensive listing in the entire history of Minnesota. But the range is massive. $300,000, Jason tells you, to $50 million? Are you kidding me, right? Well, we're not. And that's the beauty about the Twin Cities. There's a little bit of something for everyone. Not a lot of other metro areas have that to offer. So every area fits a person differently. The key is finding the correct fit for you. If you want help narrowing it down, email team@hhgus.com or fill out our form in the description below. We've helped thousands of buyers relocate here, and we'll give you a clear answer. If you want to see where the ultra wealthy actually live, watch the video linked right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video and at the next house.